What's going on, everybody? Haven't done that one in a long time. I haven't done this in a long time either, though. Today we're gonna watch Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, what happened last time? Last time we dealt with Maki and Mai, interestingly enough, with their backstory and everything, and it was very interesting for me, especially with the cool animation that was going on. And I was thinking in between those phases, right? I was editing 16 and I haven't edited 17 yet, unfortunately, but yeah, I was editing 16 and I was thinking, I haven't looked at 𝗠𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗰 in a long time. So we're gonna do that in the next couple of episodes, probably. Gonna look if there's maybe some sequences of the last episodes, especially now that tournament shit is going on and things are going crazy and whatnot, where we can look into and see which animators looked at that and actually worked on that and all of that. So we're gonna do that soon. We might also, since we're already on the internet and everything at that point in time, check out the voice actors of like the new characters that are present. But we're gonna do most of this after the arcs. I just want to get into it right now. I want to see what the new episode has to offer. We did end on somewhat of a conclusive note, but also the tournament is still going on, right? And we do have, I think, our Tokyo school people are in the lead. They're actually braving the challenges, while the other ones were focused on trying to kill Yuji, but Yuji is training with Todo right now, and he's learning that one is all and all is one. So we'll see what becomes of that eventually, but let's check that out, shall we? Alright, Jujutsu Kaisen episode 18. Oh yeah, if you're new to this, what are you doing? Why are you tuning in here and not at episode 1 or whatever? But if you don't have the time and you're just like, oh, I want to see how an episode like that, how a reaction like that is, we do have a full-length reaction on Patreon. This here is going to be the edited reaction. There is early access on Patreon as well. 1 week for Jujutsu Kaisen. It's an irregular series, so it's not gonna be every week, every month, whatever, the same. So go check out if the next episode is on, but chances are the next episode is on Patreon right now. And for all the other series, Monster, for example, or Technolyze maybe, if it's out at this point in time, there's gonna be 1 to 2, up to 2 weeks early access. And we do have Monogatari as well, which is a seasonal, which free Patreon members are actually gonna get the full length of that on Patreon as well. And last but not least, we do have Spice and Wolf as well. We do have Spice and Wolf reactions on the Patreon. But let's get into JJK actually and see what's happening this time around. Alright, and we're looking at a building. Holy shit, we're starting off big. Okay, this is Megumi. I didn't know we were in the Matrix. Oh yeah, okay. So he's like an archer type. That is cool actually. I haven't seen that too often yet. And he's like not looking, right? He's focusing on the inside, more like he feels it, kind of like that guy from Kill la Kill. Ignoring physics, right? Flying after. He's like, give me your best shot. Right, blood manipulation. Okay, love of bloodlines. Pride. Shadows at the medium. Ooh, that was a cool zoom in. All right. What the? Wasn't that like Todo's technique? Oh no, Todo's switching places, right? Hmm. Ooh, temperature pulse, okay. So everything, right? So how much oxygen you carry. Maybe even adrenaline. You're dope. Yeah, you are. It looks dope as fuck. I can tell you that much. I wonder how all of this works since Gojo is here, right? So we do need somebody who is actually able to match Gojo in terms of like fighting power. Or are we gonna lure them? Sage. She's still fucking frozen. Like, what do I do? What random thought was that? What the fuck? You can do it via phone? What the fuck? Phone call be like... Holy shit. Also, how did he get her number? Somebody or something. Oh, that probably cursed energy, right? Alright, what are you cooking, dude? Bro is absolutely abhorrent. Or Skuna will come out and you're all gonna have a lot of trouble. I'm sorry, bro's stripping. Like, this guy is worse than the fucking curses with his fucking scheming. Oh, alright, and he felt it. I'm sorry, what? Wait, who killed it? Ooh, he's here, shit! It's fucking Anami. I couldn't read that this fast. Alright, here's where the interference starts. Bro, who are you? A coat rag? Bro looks like a blacksmith. Alright. Ooh, his backstory. He needs to prove himself, right? He wants to prove himself. That's why he's so over-focused on his bloodline stuff. Exactly because he can't question it. I do love the animation, by the way. Yeah, you're kind of kindred spirits, right? Yeah, but where's that coming from? Yeah. Right. For the honor of your mother. He's gonna reject that, yeah. I knew that. I do see the similarity. Right in the backstory. Alright, so you severed that. I'm gonna follow your heart, I guess.
自分の良心を信じてる。
Mm-hmm.
自分の良心に従って人を助ける。
It doesn't matter how people judge it.
されたら、あとは
Yeah. Again, we're coming to that conflict of interest.
ないですよね。式神、まだ残っていたのか。
He was stalling for time, right?
解除前の式神をおとりに使ったのか。
No, he's showing what he... Ooh! Of course it's a pink elephant, what the fuck?
的が大きい。先手を取る。水。広い場所はまずい。
Holy shit. Okay. Electricity, of course. We know that.
私がいるとノリトシの邪魔になるから。
私は赤血操術石爆負けるわけにはいかないのだ。
Well, now I'm glad you didn't knock each other out, because this is gonna be rough. Oh, did he actually order them in order to not... He didn't have to explain it, right? All the spirits are dead.
妙だな。カラスたちが何も見ていない。
グレートティーチャー5条の生徒たちが払ったって言いたいところだけど。札は赤く燃える。
Unregistered.
侵入者ってことですか。天元様の結界が機能してないってこと。
不測の事態に変わりあるまい。あれを払ったとなるとそれなりの手だ。
Mm-hmm.
俺は天元様のところに。サトルは学願寺学長と学生の保護。
Alright, he's taking the lead.
ほらおじいちゃん、散歩の時間ですよ。昼ご飯はさっき食べたでしょ。
急ぎましょう。
Yeah, let's get out and be serious, because this is a threat. What is this dude with the axe? At least cause don't leave anything behind. Veil? Yeah, that feels like it's a veil. What the fuck are you, dude? You're not a curse, I think. And now we all gotta fight.
なんで今？
帳が降りる前にあんただけ先行け。
無理。
はあ？
実質あの帳はもう完成してる。うまいな。
Right, it's not a visual veil, it's just to keep them all out.
ま、降りたところで破りゃいい話でしょ。
And he didn't expect that.
この違和感。
ちょっと。なんであんたが弾かれて私が入れんのよ。
It's specifically for him. This is how we get him away.
なるほど。先に行って。この帳、五条悟の侵入を拒む代わりに、その他すべてのものが出入り可能な結界だ。
Special rule.
立ち引きの辻褄は合う。でも、特定の個人のみに作用する結界なんてよほど。
They must have quite the skilled curse user, right?
こちらの情報をある程度把握して。
Shit's going down.
一人でも死んだら僕らの負けだ。
So does he get in at some point, or does he just have to wait outside?
なんて濃い呪いの気配。
Very curious what he can actually use in terms of like skills.
五条悟いねえじゃん。
術師できるの。
What are you capable of, Principal?
歌姫先に
Utahime, sorry.
学生の保護を優先極力戦うな。
せめて女をやらせろ。
スカスカかどうかはわしを殺して確かめろ。
The fuck, he has a guitar?
飲んで出直してこい。おいぼれ。
Okay, this was totally unexpected. What the fuck, dude? How does old man have a guitar? What? That's his power?
なぜ高専に呪霊がいる。
Not, but you know.
誰のものだ。何か知っているのか。
以前、五条先生を襲った特級呪霊だと。
Yeah, of course. Megami has the intel too.
あの人の絵でもわかるもんだな。ツナマよ。そうですね。五条先生に連絡しましょう。
いや、彼が何を言っているのかわかるのか。
I was like,
今そんなこと。
he's probably just gesturing.
五条先生のところまで行動。
Of course, he's going in.
ダメージなしか。
He's tough.
さすがに硬いな。
あの刀、どこに隠し持っていたんだ。
I think he represents the forest, right? Stop it. Female voice. Very cool voice, by the way.
わかんねえのに意味は理解できる。
私はただこの星を守りたいだけだ。森も海も空ももう我慢ならぬと泣いています。これ以上人間との共存は
Nature's wrath.
不しい人間がいることは彼らも知っています。しかしその慈愛がどれだけの足しになろう。
独自の言語体系を確立してるんだ。
彼らはただ時間を欲している。
犬巻を下がらせろ。
時間さえあれば星はまた青く輝く。
But for that, humans need to go. Oh, the yard is...
死して賢者となりなさい。
Die and become sages. What are we talking about here? The art was amazing, by the way. These last panels. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's probably also going to be relatively easy to edit, I hope. Like, from what I can glean. We have a lot of cool combat, which I obviously have to kind of splice together so it doesn't get content ID'd, but in terms of like information, it was okay. I mean, I said that before, but it keeps flashing into my mind that this scenery, right, there's this like family feeling, and these times without trouble, they seem almost unobtainable because of all the stuff that's happening. Black Flash, alright. Interesting. Let's talk about it for a second. Yeah, I did not expect them to come in at this point in time, actually. Which is very, very interesting that we have that. That this time around they actually came in and interrupted right here. I thought it was maybe gonna be in round 2 or something that would have made a little bit more sense than for me in general. I mean, we're gonna look at the art in the discussion, right? Very interesting. He has this thing going on with his bloodline, and he uses blood as his technique. Basically, he's infusing blood with cursed energy, and he's manipulating it in a way that it follows his will. I find it very cool that he can open his eyes, but he doesn't have to. So he has some kind of like not ultra instinct, more like some kind of ultra sensory ability going on here, where he doesn't have to look. At least that's how I'm interpreting it. It could, of course, always be that he's just squinting the eyes, and that's how how Jujutsu Kaisen chooses to show that, but I don't get that impression. You have like, I think it's very interesting that Megumi is actually very tough in close quarters combat, but it makes sense if he has connections to the Sennin bloodline. if he's related to Maki and Mai. And Maki is a very tough close quarters fighter, and we did see in her backstory that they have some kind of like possibly martial artish school of sorcerers going on their own, right? They have a family clan and whatnot, and it looks like they have a dojo, right? And her focus on just melee weapon and just being that way. And when they trained together, you also could see that he was training with Maki to learn from Maki to actually enhance his abilities. And we had that other thing in like that one moment where he was like, wait, if I can use my techniques in order to kind of stash my weapons, I can actually also fight with weapons in close quarters instead of being like reliant completely on my Shikigami. And yeah, that is, it's really cool. And it's hereditary from the Senin clan. Maki and Mai did not inherit it, but he, as I don't know where he ranks in the Senin clan. I do assume he's like some kind of branch family, maybe. And this is why, how is he called? Like, I forgot his name. Let me actually, I have to edit that out, but let me actually look up his name. By the way, I'm very good at ignoring anything that comes my way that is not in line with what I've already seen, so don't worry about it. I'm just gonna gloss over character designs and completely forget them in a second. But I'm not even gonna pay attention to them. Kamo, yeah, Kamo is his name. Noritoshi Kamo. And Kamo is actually kind of sympathizing with him because he feels like he can identify with Megumi because they're both like from bloodlines that are very prestigious, but they're not the main thing of the bloodline, right? Megumi is a little bit to the side, at least from what we can gather. And he is the son of a prostitute, courtesan, whatever, illegitimate child, basically. But he has the great burden of having to take over the bloodline because there were no main children of the primary bloodline, so he was the only choice they had, basically. So he feels kind of probably also related, like, or sympathetic towards Maki and Mai with their situation, that they have like their main children of the bloodline, but they're kind of not being in high regard because of like them not inheriting their abilities and whatnot. And he feels especially connected to Megumi here, who also is kind of off the bloodline, right? But to the side. And apparently Megumi, he said that he cut ties with the Senin bloodline, which I find very interesting. I do wonder if there's more to it, right? In the sense of maybe that person that he keeps thinking of, that she was kind of connected to the Senin bloodline, and that some kind of something happened, right? And where he was like, no, I'm not gonna have to do, like, I'm not gonna interact with the Senin bloodline anymore. They are dead to me. That's how it comes across. And the only reason he's talking to Maki and Mai is that he obviously understands their situation and that they're nice people, as opposed to maybe the rest of the bloodline. They're fighting and it's really cool. He's enhancing himself, basically using steroids, right? Manipulating his blood oxygen and his like all of the stuff that goes through his blood, the red blood cells, whatever. Blood vessels manipulated. Yeah, right. His whole cardiovascular system is gonna be doped up. Obviously, he would have enhanced physical abilities. Some of these jokes, I feel like they don't land as well. I mean, I said that before. I feel like in the manga, this would be hilarious, but here it's like just them putting it in, and you realize what's supposed to be funny about it, and maybe you kind of smile, you give it a wry smile. But the problem is the comedic timing, in my opinion. If this would have been a longer bit, might have been funny, but the way it was presented and then it was just cast away with and was just like a normal land again, it kind of creates a stark contrast that I don't like as much. If that makes any sense to all you out there. But yeah, I wonder if tapioca's as good as this. Tapioca? Is there a dude who is named Tapioca in our crew, or is this just her jumping from one thought process to a completely different one? Like, what the fuck? Is she just crazy? She's just like jumping from one topic to the next. It's insane that he can do that with like with the smartphone. Like, holy shit, just via phone he's like, by the way, I want you to get to my crib so we you know, we'll do something later. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. Like, it's just insane that he can give orders and people are just like affected by his cursed speech just merely by hearing his voice, even through another medium. And this guy is a fucking piece of work. Like, maybe we will do a 180 and suddenly it's like, oh yeah, the guy is really badass and he's really strong. And then it comes out that Yuji defended them and he's like, you know what, maybe Yuji isn't all that bad, right? That is possibly the way to go into like redeeming him, but it still doesn't redeem the way he absolutely went haywire on, let's just fucking kill this dude. I don't want to hear any arguments to the contrary, and I'll do anything I can, as petty as I can, to actually make it happen, and maybe even endangering other people, right? Since we had a second level curse here, which, well, we should have a second level curse here, and it's a semi first grade now. And it can be controlled, so he wants it to specifically kill Yuji. Also, he's kind of like, I'm sorry, I mean, with all of your kind of strategizing maybe and like laying plans and whatnot, and suddenly moving stuff where you're like just making it happen that people die, I'm sorry, but the mere fact that you think that a normal fucking curse is gonna be able to fuck up Yuji, and the fact that you're not thinking about the fact that Sukuna could come out and you could have fucked yourself royally by just doing that and provoking that is insane, right? Like, think, dude, think. I don't care how badass your guitar is. Think. Stop being an idiot, okay? Come on. Yeah, I mean, and Kamo he's kind of loyal, right? Boy's loyal. He'll surely die. Yeah, fuck you, dude. And this is when Hanami makes her. Yeah, I guess we'll call Hanami her, and say like Mother Nature kind of deal. When Hanami and Mahito they're making their move, and they're going in, and weird blacksmith dude is with them. What did he say? Let's make a coach rack. Gojo Satoru 190 centimeters. That'll make a great coach rack. What the fuck are you on about, dude? What are you on about, dude? Stop hunting for trophies. Like, I don't know, maybe you're badass as fuck, but honestly, I don't think you're playing in one class with the rest of them. So you're the sacrificial pawn, dude, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, then we have the backstory with the mother. Insane panel shots, and the fight is really great. It's amazing. Right, how we just the sheer amount of animation that goes into that, and the directing that we have to, and it's so cool. We have this linear hallway. I feel like I'm in Sekiro or some shit, and I'm on a one-on-one duel with somebody else, right? Like with all of the sliding doors and whatnot. It looks so amazing. We talk for a second about like him feeling like the sympathies, but Megumi rejects that. He's like, no, I'm not like you. Right? I mean, yes, we are. He doesn't admit that, but I can see it, right? From Kamo's perspective, I know where he sympathizes, where he kind of identifies with Megumi, but at the same time, Megumi is like, no, we're not the same, right? You're following your orders, you think you have to fulfill your duties as the bloodline and whatnot. You have these weird ideas about pride and like who is worthy to be a sorcerer and kind of just having to make sure that quality control is in and that, right? But you don't know this guy. You don't know my friend. You don't know Yuji. And the mere fact that you're just rejecting everything and not even, that you're not even open for arguments why you shouldn't be doing this is making you my enemy, right? My opposition. And we're not gonna see eye to eye there. And I'm not with you. It's like a great stance to have, especially now that Megumi has learned it can happen very quickly that somebody you started to really like is gonna pass away. And in this specific case, he's seen his true character, right? His true self-sacrificial character. And this is what I think, right? Kamo has interacted like not 2 seconds, but 20 seconds with Yuji. If he knew him more, I think he would immediately regret what he's thinking here. Because he would recognize that Yuji is very, very caring as a character. And he would make the Jujutsu sorcerers proud. Yeah, we have amazing animation. And the water, like the elemental combo, he's going in with the water with the new Shikigami, and then he's sending new with the electric shock, right? We're gonna start out with Squirtle, we're gonna get like Aqua Pump or whatever it's called, and get the enemy Pokemon wet, and then we're gonna transfer them out, and we get in Pikachu, and we're like, come on, Thunder Wave or whatever you're doing. It's been too long since I've played a Pokemon game, but you know what I mean. And then it suddenly ends, right? As they were about to go ham on one another, suddenly a threat appears that lets everybody be like, shit, we need to stop fighting and we need to start concentrating on whatever is going wrong right here because we are under attack. Which is kind of playing, like, I think they make their move too early. They made it too early. They should have waited until a couple of them beat each other down. The only person who was beaten down was Mekamaru. And Mai, but I don't know how fast you will recover. We'll see about that. Very interesting to get the two of them out of there, by the way. I do wonder if there's an arc later on where we actually see what they're capable of after they've reflected on themselves and trained and whatnot. And then we don't expect them, and then they come in and we are like, shit, Mai who has trained, and Mekamaru who's like, I don't know, upgraded himself or whatever, and also trained and whatnot, and they're coming in clutch at the end. Something like that. I can very well imagine that is going to be a thing, because as of now, they're still kind of opponents, antagonists, whatnot, right? People we are not as sympathetic with. We know they're kind of technically on our side, but we also know they're very opposed to us, right? They have a lot of antagonistic things going on with our protagonists. And them coming in another arc later on and being like, here we are, we're the cavalry, we are the cavalry this time. We're gonna save you, right? That would be something that will turn this entire image around, and we're like, hell yeah, right? Progression, character development, whatever. And you like run away. He doesn't even need to explain. That's the cool thing about him, right? He made the decision. He's like, yes, they're my friends and I shouldn't do that, right? Or at least Megumi. But emergency situation. Me explaining this is gonna take a hell lot of time, and I can't use the words properly, right? Because I don't want to curse people accidentally. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna just tell them to run away, and it's gonna have the effect that they have the instinct to run away. I don't know if they could technically resist that. I think maybe they could, but they probably had the instinct themselves. They just didn't move as fast, and then it's like, oh, okay, we're gone. The burning red. Good design, by the way, that they kind of left the door open to be like unidentified curse power, and they're like, Oh, this is none of our guys. Let's fucking right, we need to handle this. Utahime and our principal are going out. Gojo wants to come with us, but we do very soon realize after the veil is set that the veil is specifically done to keep Gojo out. I don't know how it works, but the way I interpret what he was saying is that in exchange for actually keeping Gojo out, and I don't know in which way that works mechanically, but in exchange for like keeping Gojo out and keeping him out very effectively as like being an individual, almost like a genetic thing maybe, right? Or soul thing, everybody else can go in, because that is how big the sacrifice is, right? That you have to make, right? Bolster your strength incredibly against Gojo while leaving it open for everybody else to invade. That is one interpretation. The other interpretation is we'll leave Gojo out and lure everybody else in here because we think we can handle all of them, and we want them to come in here so we can kill them while Gojo is outside and tries to break in or tries to find another way to be effective. And then it's only Gojo left. I do wonder if he can break in eventually, because I don't know, Gojo seems to me like a very overpowered character that would probably be able to break anything and get through anything if he has enough time. So yeah, I don't know. Or maybe Yuji can break it from the inside, be like, bam, goodbye. Or maybe just knock out the originator of the veil and then be able to do it. But you know, for the time being. And she's like, that makes sense. But if they're able to use a barrier to keep a specific individual out, they need to have a very experienced cursed user. They need to know a lot about us, right? So Gojo's already forming his ideas, the same ideas that that Megumi and the rest of them actually have a couple of scenes later where they're like, yeah, this must be these these super powerful cursors and the curse users that were confronting us in the past already. This dude, I don't know what to think about this dude. He seems like a chump, to be honest. Like, he seems like hot air. I do wonder why we're pointing him up against the principal, because the way I see it, like, if he's the principal, it seems almost like he's super, super powerful, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's actually not. He's just, he's got the experience, he's got the authority, right? He's one of the elders. And people like Todo and the other ones, which you haven't seen yet, maybe they're above him. Right? Maybe, right, or Gojo, that they're better than him, that they're stronger than him, and he's just like a mid kind of deal in terms of like the ranking when it comes to the people. And for example, the principal of the Tokyo school, who is a lot younger and using like his puppets and whatnot. We'll have to see. I don't know what to think about your fucking guitar. Like, I'm sorry, what? Like, come on. There's like such a clash of what I expected, right? It's like old man tradition, and then he's packing out like the riff guitar, and I'm like, oh, okay, Bocce, I guess. I don't know. And we have Mother Nature, which a very interesting explanation. It makes a lot of sense, the explanation too, right? Damn, flicking the phone out of your hands. That was a fail, but it is effective, right? He is very, very powerful, right? With his like cursed speech and whatnot. Electric shock, but he keeps it all away. Like there's so much toughness in there. Really cool how he's using like the blood as like an actual weapon, right? A throwing weapon. And we do see that Megumi keeps doing these things, right? Throwing like unlocking weapons out of subliminal space, which is really cool, because at this point he's kind of like, if we go shortly, sorry about that, but if we go shortly into D&D, he's basically like a sword singer or something, right? He is kind of a magician type, but he can go under close quarters and can actually make it happen. Yeah, I think it's cool how they do that, right? Stop it, foolish children. If you have enough time, you can actually read it. I never have enough time to actually read something backwards. I need probably twice the time that I need to read normal subtitles, so it ain't gonna happen. but we have the important stuff we get translated because people instinctively understand her, which is very interesting and makes sense with the nature theme, right? We do have somewhat of a connection to nature and maybe understand some of the principles that are happening, especially when it comes to like nature and life and plants and whatnot. It's almost like we're born with it, to understand nature to a degree, right? On a feeling basis, at least, because we are part of nature. That is an insane panel. Yeah. That was Jujutsu Kaisen, and I can't wait to see the next one because now it's really, right, shit is going down. This is insane. That being said, I'll see all of you next time.
You